Okay, hi there. My name is Jing. I'm the CEO of Bukit Vista, and I've been asked a few times now to provide some information about what exactly does Bukit Vista do. So this video is made in the effort of saving us, let's say, our primary meeting, so that whenever you get this video, you get a pretty good idea of what it is that we do. So the reason why you should be interested in Bukit Vista is because we are extraordinary. We are the leading hospitality innovation in Bali, and we can back it up with facts. So if you're ready to learn more, then I'll walk you through everything that we do. First, a little bit about myself. So who am I? Where do I come from? What's my background? So here's my background. Well, as you can see, I really like YouTube here. My background is that I'm actually American. I come from California, and I studied electrical engineering and computer science at the University of California at Berkeley back in 2002. So from that moment onwards, I've been passionate about pursuing all matter of, let's say, innovation and technology, but I've also been a very advocate of hospitality, a very strong advocate of hospitality. And so I started my career at Exotic, which is still one of the largest real estate companies in Bali. I served there for 4 years, working as a digital marketing manager for the branch in Jimbaran. Following that, I got a very prestigious job at Aman Resorts. Aman, for those of you that don't know, caters to the highest net worth individuals in the world. They have 35 or so locations. They're all basically like temples, charge upwards of $3,000 to $4,000 a night, and it's an amazing experience. You can see some of my pictures here with the project team when we built this beautiful hotel in Nusa. So during that time, I developed a huge appreciation and love of high-end hospitality, but I could also see that the time was about to change. And that's when I went and worked at Airbnb. Airbnb was just getting started in Indonesia in 2012, 2013. So I joined first as a host, and then Airbnb interviewed me 13 times and hired me as a market manager for Indonesia. So I looked after all of the business operations in Indonesia, making sure that those in major cities like Jakarta and Surabaya traveled outbound to Europe using Airbnb. But then those that wanted to come to Bali really had an enriching experience. We had a lot of fun building up the community back when I was a little bit younger and perhaps also thinner. And we also awarded hosts that had the best hospitality scores with recognition, rewards, and also ceremonies. So that was good. Then since that time, I've been working for the past 12 and a half years as the CEO of Bukit Vista, a company that I co-founded with my wife back in about 2011. We don't really remember the exact date because we were just doing business casually, but eventually Bukit Vista turned out to be a pretty serious contender in the property and asset management category here in Bali. All right, so what I'd like to direct your attention to now that I've fully explained myself is what do we actually do? We offer asset management services for savvy investors looking to get the highest return on investment in Bali. And once again, we're able to back that claim up with data, facts, experience, and the technology and the teams that make it all possible. So you may ask, how do we do that? We are looking here now at a sample business plan contract. A business plan is how we start every relationship with a partner of Bukit Vista. You become a partner of Bukit Vista by asking us to manage your property. The property can be as small as a single unit villa to as large as a 100-room hotel. It doesn't really matter what location, what size. We can serve all different types of clients because we use a internet technology first methodology that appreciates the scalability of our services. So the first thing that we need to agree upon is the mission. Without agreement on the mission, then there is no success. And without the agreement on the direction we're going to go, there is no success. So we ask that all our partners first appreciate the concept of ranking. I'll explain why this is important. Ranking is the fundamental aspect that any property needs to get really correct in a place like Bali. If you don't know, Bali is a demand-constrained marketplace. What do I mean by that? If you're coming from places like, let's say, Europe, North America, those are supply-constrained marketplaces where the laws and the regulations just forbid any more growth in the amount of supply that is available. But Bali, as you probably have known and noticed, has no limit on the number of supplies. The government will happily keep on offering and sell licenses and plot land, and so will all local landowners too as well. So supply growth, you could almost say, is infinite. at some point, which makes the aspect of ranking super, super important, because it's not just your ranking this year, but how do you preserve and maintain ranking year after year after year as new areas come into, let's say, rises, and as new properties with newer designs come into the marketplace. It's a fashion market. It's very competitive. And so maintaining and developing a ranking, also known as your brand, is fundamental. Bukit Vista helps our partners understand ranking by, of course, basically icons. We rank properties from bronze to diamond, and these are essentially then broadcast to you through our application, which I'll show you on the other side of the screen. Our application here indicates the ranking of a property by indicating it right here at the top. Platinum being the best ranking, or diamond being the best ranking possible, platinum being just one step below that. So the history of the ranking is transparently relayed to every user of Bukit Vista services through our application, also known as BVGo. BVGo has been sitting here on my desktop quietly during this whole time. This application normally fits on a phone, but I've just made it so that it would fit here on the desktop. You get updates from me as the CEO of Bukit Vista on any particular news, good or bad, market updates and such. So it's a really good, transparent market intelligence service that we also include as part of the Bukit Vista program. So this, going back to ranking, is how we are able to, let's say, align the relationship. We need alignment in the relationship throughout all the highs and lows during the very competitive, very turbulent, very unpredictable circumstances that happen in Indonesia and Bali. So this is why it's ultra important to understand about ranking. Once we have gone into ranking, I'm prepared to go a little bit deeper into the next aspect, but I'll take a pause there because this is already about 8 minutes. So you might want to take a rest before watching part 2.